voters are showing up in droves and casting their ballots in the first in the nation primary today in New Hampshire. The latest Suffolk Boston Globe poll shows former President Trump ahead by 19 points over Nikki Haley.
Yeah, that's right. The remaining two Republican presidential candidates, they are making their final pitches last night. And joining us now to discuss how he thinks his father is going to do in the race is Executive Vice President for the Trump Organization, Eric Trump. Eric, we appreciate you coming on. Thank you.
Guys, thanks for having me.
Okay, so just lay it out for us. How's your dad doing? What's he up to today? And how's the Trump campaign feeling heading into this primary?
We feel great, guys. I mean, we really feel great. I'm a proud son today. We feel great. I mean, I was at a bunch of the polling locations, and I just can't tell you the level of enthusiasm. I was in Iowa last week, and everywhere we went, it was massive enthusiasm. Come here, the last couple of days, and I mean, the enthusiasm in this state is just unbelievable. I mean, there are Trump signs everywhere. Literally, I mean, we've probably been in the car for 2 hours today, and everywhere we go, every 2 feet, there's another Trump sign. And so, guys, I think we're going to have a great night tonight. I don't see Haley having much of a future after tonight. Obviously, Nevada, she's part of a primary. She's not part of the caucus, so she can't get any delegates out of that. Then obviously we go into South Carolina, which is going to be extremely strong for us. And we go into Super Tuesday, as you guys know better than anyone. And those states just align perfectly with my father. And I really think she's out tonight. And I think we're going to have an awesome evening. I mean, that's an early prediction, but if what I'm seeing on the ground matches up with what happens in the polls, I think we're going to have a beautiful, beautiful evening.
That's right. The power of positive thinking, Eric. I always like that. Question in terms of Nikki Haley, as you said, but also then going to President Biden. Assuming it is your dad once again versus President Biden, how are you feeling about that matchup for a second time, potentially?
I'm feeling great. I mean, we have single-handedly the most incompetent president in the history of this country. You have a man who is solely destroying not only the economy of our nation, but our standing on a national stage. He's destroying what it means to be America. He's destroying, what red, white, and blue stands for. There's an all-out war on family in this country. There's an all-out war on God and religious freedom in this country. There's certainly an all-out war on freedom of speech and First Amendment. In this nation. You guys have seen that, and you've covered it probably every single day for the last 3 years. People are sick and tired of the nonsense. People want our economy back. They want low gas prices again. They don't want World War III to break out all over the world. They want to be able to worship God and speak freely and not be censored and not be deplatformed and not have war waged against them and their quality of life every single day. People are sick and tired of the games, and they want to be able to live the American dream, and that's what my father did. He built the greatest economy we've ever had, the lowest unemployment, the lowest gas prices, the biggest tax cuts in the history of our nation, the most deregulation. He brought back manufacturing. He did peace in the Middle East, Abraham Accords, and so many more things. And my father was a great cheerleader. I think up and above everything else, he's an unbelievable cheerleader for this nation. We don't have a cheerleader. We have a guy who spends 40% of his time in Delaware, does not work, is not inspirational at all. People want to have the strongest country in the world back, and we just don't have it under this clown show that we're witnessing in Washington, D.C.
Joe Biden, he does love going to the beaches there in Delaware, as we see.
The beaches there are quite nice, but yeah, maybe you should be in the White House a little more often.
Eric, I do want to make note, you brought up gas prices. Well, under your father, 187, I think, was the lowest point. That's incredible.
Road trip.
In today's day and age. I mean, that was really low. And I hear your father say it all the time. It all starts with energy. Inflation all starts with energy, but it's crippling the country right now. So let's talk about this. Iowa, the polls, they got it right. Crushing victory for your father. New Hampshire, the polls are showing anywhere from 30, maybe 27%. If it's that big of a blowout, is there any road left for Nikki Haley, so to speak?
No, because again, Nevada doesn't really matter, right? Because she's not even registered for the caucuses. And then South Carolina, we're gonna blow her out of the water. Super Tuesday, we're gonna blow her out of the water. There is no road left for her. I mean, she's being funded by a lot of people, and you guys have reported on this. I don't, in the final day of, final hours of New Hampshire, I don't need to, kind of badmouth somebody, but. I mean, a lot of her fundings come from, Reid Hoffman, the biggest Democrats, who hate my father, who's funding lawsuits against my father every single day. She's taking their money. She's taking money from the greatest rhino's that we've ever had in this country. And by the way, guys, the rhinos are worse than a lot of the Democrats, I have to say. But, she's taking all the rhino money. I think people look through her. She wants to be involved in every war around the world, as opposed to my father, who never won a war. He never brought America to war. He was the first president in U.S. history who didn't get into a war, and I think we should celebrate that. Not promote the people who want the Pentagon to fight every single conflict around the globe, while we waste hundreds of billions, if not trillions of dollars doing that. We've learned our lessons from the Middle East over 20 years, and but guys, I really do feel strong tonight. I mean, the enthusiasm is incredible. We are in great spirits as a family. I'm proud as hell of my father. He's the amount of nonsense that he's had to deal with over the last 3 years has been incredible, and I do believe in karma. Sometimes I think karma takes too long. But I think karma will hold true, and everything that they've done to him, everything that they've done to our family, every arrow that they've put in our back, every single time they've tried to stab us and take us out and throw him in jail and hurt all of us, I think the people will speak tonight, and I think it'll be a great kind of day of vindication, for lack of a better word.
Eric, as your dad moves forward with his campaign towards the presidential election, will he do anything differently from what he did previously? Does he have a new strategy, a new focus? Is he more relaxed? Is he focused more on unifying the entire party? Because I've seen a lot of those messages from him even in the past 24 hours.
Guys, I think there is a level of being relaxed. I mean, he's the hardest worker you've ever seen, but I think he just wants to get back to the basics. I mean, it's very simple. Stop talking about which bathroom a man can use, and how about we get back to the basics? Like, let's have the strongest economy in the world. Let's have the greatest education in the world. Let's have the strongest military. Let's take care of our vets. Let's have the lowest oil and energy prices. Let's be respected around the world. Let's make sure that the U.S. dollar continues to be the preeminent currency of the world, right? Let's get back to the basics. Let's forget about the sideshows that don't matter. Let's get back to making sure that red, white, and blue, America is the strongest country in the world. And then also, let's battle the corruption that we've seen. You've seen three-letter agencies that have literally been weaponized to take out political opponents. That has to come to an end, because we won't have a democracy if that's allowed to continue. You literally have these agencies who, let the Russia hoax go on for 3 years, and have been at the center of all these controversies, have been weaponized to the nth degree. I think you'll want to get rid of a lot of that, and I think that makes a lot of people in Washington incredibly fearful.
And I've also heard your father say he's not going to seek retribution, rather just make it so this kind of stuff can't happen again in this country, because it's so wrong here. Eric, while we still got you about 30 seconds, gotta ask, gotta do this.
Yeah.
Who is your father potentially considering to be the VP here, should he go on to take the nomination?
Guys, if I knew, I would never tell. I wouldn't say that to a wall.
We won't tell anybody. You can tell just us. Come on.
You wouldn't tell anybody. No, there's no one watching the show right now. I know the secret's safe between the three of us and the 40 people in your control room. But no, guys, he'll pick somebody incredible. I mean, he really will. He'll pick somebody incredible, and I have no doubt that he's mulling over a bunch of names in the back of his head, and he'll pick somebody great.
Well, that's great, Eric Trump. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Best of luck tonight up there.
That's
like you
right.
said, you're anticipating a big win, a big night here. And I do want to say that no candidate who's ever won Iowa and New Hampshire has gone on not to be the GOP nominee.
All right, again, that positive energy, and Eric, as you said, potentially karma that you're keeping your eye on. Thanks so much for joining us on American Agenda, and please come back.